Hey guys, how are you? Happy Sunday afternoon. I am back for the 30 days of transformations. Today's day 9, and our topic today is asking for what you're worth in relationships. This is a varied topic, all right? I mean, you could do so much within this, but I really just want to talk about a few points about worthiness and knowing about it and asking for it. So first of all, if you don't know what the 30 Days of Transformations is, it is simply a series of 30 consecutive days where I am jumping on here and talking about transformations I have gone through in my own body love journey. And then the challenge for you is that every single day, there is some call to action for you. So it might be a journaling prompt or an affirmation or something else. Something that is going to help you take one step forward in your own body love transformation, okay? That's the whole idea, is that you're not just listening to me, you're actually taking action and doing something with all of this stuff. So, like I said, today is asking for what you're worth in relationships. Now, when I say relationship, I don't just mean romantic relationships. I mean with everybody in your life, with friends, with coworkers, whoever you meet out there in the world. I'm talking about all of that. Okay, yes, romantic relationships, but not just. Okay, not just. The fact is that I never used to feel worthy. And I've said this before, but I really honestly didn't. I didn't really feel worthy of love. I didn't feel worthy of friendship. I didn't feel worthy of happiness. And because of that, that of course overflowed into all of my different relationships. Not feeling worthy in your own life means that you're constantly looking for, what's the word? Affirmation? No, not affirmation. You're constantly looking for somebody to make you feel better about yourself, right? You're always looking for somebody else to lift you up and give you a hand and good job, and because you don't have that within you, so you look for it in external sources. When I really didn't feel worthy, I didn't feel worthy within myself, and that also meant that I didn't ever ask for more. I didn't feel worthy of love from a partner. I didn't feel worthy of time from a friend. I didn't feel worthy of that stuff, so I didn't ask for what I really wanted. And when I was a teenager, I had a friend. By the way, if I knew you when I was a teenager, it's not you. I'm not in touch with this person anymore. I had a friend when I was a teenager, and she was a taker. She was a lovely person on the surface, but she would take and she would take and she would take and she would take, and it was all about her, and it was 100% around what she wanted and what she needed, and there was kind of nothing in it for me. And looking back on it now, it's really clear, and I'm like, well, that wasn't even a friendship. But at the time, I was in the mindset of, somebody wants to be friends with me. How awesome is this? Right? And I didn't really see that I was actually worth more, that I was worth having somebody who wanted to be friends with me and was interested in me and asked me questions about my life and all that sort of stuff. So there's a few different points of worthiness that I really want to touch on today. Number one, worthiness isn't earned. All right? You are inherently worthy just as you are. You don't have to do anything to be worthy. You do not have to be anything or anybody other than who you already are to be worthy. When there's a story, last year I was at a coaching, it wasn't a convention, but it was like a 3-day workshop. And I was talking to one of the coaches. I was in like a little mini coaching session being coached, and we were talking about different things, and she said, so everybody else can do this thing, and everybody else in the world can have this and do this. Why can't you? What makes you so uniquely broken? And I kind of paused and went, oh shit, I guess nothing. Like, I guess nothing, right? Like, whatever was in my way was in my head. And I would ask you the same question when it comes to worthiness. If you think everybody else in the world is worthy of love and happiness and being loved and having a great career and having the family that they want, if you think everybody else in the world is worthy of that, what makes you so broken that you are not worthy of the same things? What makes you so wrong or so bad that you are not worthy of love and not worthy of happiness, not worthy of success, not worthy of embracing your body? And I would bet that there really isn't actually anything. But that's a big question. The next point I really want to talk about with worth is that Your worth is determined by you. People in your life won't give you more than you ask for. So you don't get to look to somebody else and say, oh, how much am I worth? Do I deserve love? They're going to go, I don't know. What do you say? You don't seem to think you deserve love. You don't seem to think you deserve to be respected. You don't seem to think you deserve, trust or honesty or whatever that is. So I'm not going to give it to you if you don't think you deserve it, right? Like, you teach people how to treat you in this world. I very strongly believe that. There's very few people in this world who are going to step into your life and treat you 100 times better than you treat yourself. Generally, people will look at how you treat yourself and kind of figure out that's the baseline. Okay, that's what we're aiming for. That's where we're going. They're not going to come in and treat you, 100 times better. It's not human nature. It's not really how we work. So the big question really is like, how do you want to be treated? Right? If your worth is determined by you, in a relationship with somebody, your worth is determined by you. So what you deserve to get out of that relationship, your wants, your needs, that's all determined by you. And if you don't ask for it, you're not going to get it. Right? You teach people how to treat you, like I said. And when it comes to relationships, you hold just as much power in a relationship as the other person. Again, romantic relationship, friendship, coworker, sibling, whoever. You, in your own right, hold just as much power within that relationship as the other person. That is a really empowering thing to realize, that the other person can come and step up and say, well, I want this. And you have every right to say, well, I want this. And talk it out, right? One person is not inherently more worthy than another. One person does not deserve to have their needs met more than the other. You both deserve it, but they're not going to give it to you if you don't stand up and ask for it. And honestly, through my own journey of learning to love my body, I've really learned how to stand up and ask for what I need. I never used to ask for what I needed. Number one, I used to always just assume people could read my mind. They can't. And I didn't know how. I felt really bad and I felt really awkward and I felt really weird. But the fact is, it's really up to you to have people in your life who will treat you as you want to be treated. At the end of the day, that's it. And you have complete control over that. People cannot make you settle. Nobody else in your life can make you accept shitty treatment. Nobody else in your life can make you say, well, I guess I'm not worthy. That all comes from you. Whether you like it or not, that all comes from you. I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not even saying it's always a conscious choice, but if you're in a shitty situation, in some way you've put yourself there. And that also means that you're responsible for getting yourself out. It's up to you to basically demand more, and you are worthy of demanding more. Remember, point number 1, you are inherently worthy. As you learn to love your body, I can pretty much guarantee you, I have never not seen this happen, you will discover your own self-worth. You really will. As women, oftentimes our body image and our self-worth are very interconnected, right? Like you can almost not even separate the two. So when you learn to love your body and you enhance this side, it automatically pulls your self-worth up with it. And when you feel better about yourself, when you recognize that you are worthy, that is going to overflow into every area of your life, and that is freaking powerful. So your homework for today is a journaling prompt. So I want you to grab your journal, set aside 5 minutes, and just ask the question, do you currently ask for what you want and need in the relationships in your life? Now you can pick one relationship, you can just look at a general sort of overview, whatever feels best for you. And why or why not? Do you currently ask? Why do you ask? Or why don't you ask? And, if you don't, what would that look like? How do you feel about asking? Is there fear? Is there anxiety? Is there excitement? How do you feel about stepping up and asking for what you're worth in the important relationships in your life? Again, this isn't going to change instantly, but you have to look at it. And you have to kind of ask the question, and you have to get curious before you're able to actually step in and make changes. So that's really how developing my own positive body image has completely changed how I function within relationships, and it's really changed what I ask for and what I see myself as worthy of getting out of a relationship. All right, like I said, body image and worthiness, so interconnected. You cannot separate the two. When you work on one, you're going to bring the other one up. So I really encourage you to grab your journal, answer that question, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for day 10. Have a good night.